Good afternoon, people, and this is Madhav Bhel, the lean programmer. And so today I have organized a webinar on data science. So, data science is a topic which is trending a lot these days. First of all, before we start, just so that your friends can also join, just share this link with them, madhavbhel.tech/ds trending. So yeah, as we all know that data science is some sort of a buzzword these days, and everyone is just going blindly into this domain, and everyone is just trying to, yeah, I'm a data scientist, but no one really seems to understand the myths behind it, the this future scope of it, and what all opportunities are there in this domain. So I have organized a webinar today. The title is very amazing. I just love the title. Hashtag data science trending, since it's already trending. So yeah, today we have a very special guest. It's Manpreet. And Manpreet is a friend of mine, and she's also been doing data science. She's been practicing data science since a lot of time. Since personally, I know her from more than 1 year, and she's been doing data science. She was also an intern at Triple IT Hyderabad, a research intern. And yes, she has an amazing experience in data science. So glad to have you here, Manpreet, and looking forward to an amazing webinar. And I hope you'll be able to clear doubts of people everyone who is present in the webinar. And apart from that, I also received a few questions on the form which I released. So I will be asking those questions at the end of the webinar. And in case you have any question between the webinar, you can just type your question in the chat section like this. So I'll just type it and show you question. And once you type the question, I'll show it on the screen like this. And uh, then Manpreet can answer to your question. All right. So let's go, guys. Manpreet, glad to have you here, and I hope this webinar will be really, really informative for every one of the participant who is present here. All right, let's go.
Should I start or wait for 5-10 minutes?
You can start, Manpreet. You can start by introducing yourself, and then by the time more people are joining, then we can you can go to the content. You can proceed to the main content in, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes. Till then, we can just start off. And if you have any questions from me, Manpreet, feel free to ask in any point of time in between the webinar. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about data science as it's one of the very trending field nowadays. And thank you to Madhav for organizing this webinar and letting me tell people like about data science, the hype that is nowadays in it. So I'm myself Manpreet and I was doing integrated MSc in applied maths from NIT Surat, known as SVNIT, the Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology. I started to explore data science myself in college and did here and there some interns and some projects. And then finally, I did my thesis in NLP from Triple IT Hyderabad. I recently also started my YouTube channel aiming to teach you all data science in a fun way. So that is all about me. So basically, everyone will have this doubt what exactly data science is. And people generally have this doubt ki how did this started? Like, what is data science? So data science started off, as you can say, in 800 ED as a statistician job. So basically, it was like you can say that an old statistician is now teaming up with young computer science students. So basically, data science earlier was all about the statistical techniques and analysis, but now you have some computational techniques. And so now they both have teamed up, and a new field has emerged as data science. And now in this 21st century, it has become one of the, you can say, the sexiest job and the most demandable job everywhere. But earlier the data we had was very structured and small, so it was very easy to like implement. But now the data that you have is very raw and unstructured, so you need techniques to find out your data, you need techniques to get the useful data from it and study your data. So now data science as a field is very, very broad. Like it's not just limited to your analysis, it is just not limited to building models, but it is about like taking data, cleaning your data, and visualization, studying your data, deploying it for real world applications. So it all started from earlier age where it was just a statistics, and now with some computational algorithms it has turned out to be, you can say that, computational techniques with statistics. So this is what I like, what is actually data sciences. Like I like to give you some few examples from like the real life. Our first is the COVID-19 analysis. As you will see that there are many structures or like many people data visualizations that come into news, like this country was this much in March and now in April you have this many cases, this is how the mortality rate is being calculated. So have you ever wondered how it is being done? Like कैसे, like how they're doing it, उनके दिमाग में कैसे आ रहा है कि this is the rate, this is going on, and this is all the things that is going on. This is just because they have this data, they are studying the pattern of the data, and then they are predicting and making charts according to the data they have. Like in news it was there sometime before ki now we have 6,000 cases per day, so by the end of July, you will be having like 10,000 cases per day. Like now you can see we have 9,000 cases per day. So they made this prediction based on the study of various countries' data, our own country's data, and how are the other things proceeding on. Next, you can say is the Amazon customer review. Whenever you buy a product from Amazon, you see that they ask for a review, or any other website you buy a product, they'll give you ki you have to buy, you have to give some reviews. But have you ever thought ki how is this being getted benefited to Amazon? Well, they know the how the product is being sold to the market by a particular store, how is their services, what people think about that product. And you can say is that ki, when you buy a particular product, it helps the company to know ki how much demand of this particular product is there in this particular area. So it helps them to analyze ki what type of products are being sold in a particular area, and they'll give you some sort of recommendations based on your purchases. So it helps them to uh, do more sales with the analysis of your data and how you're spending it. Next is the weather forecasting. As you all know, cyclone came in India this time in West Bengal. So it was predicted long back, but like few days back by the weather forecasters or predictors, that it will be a very hard one. So the rescue teams were sent, and people were told to vacate their houses, and safety measures were taken even in the cyclone that is hitting Maharashtra and other parts of India. So this is all how you study your data, and this made the useful measures, and it saved a lot of lives. So these are some of the real life examples of data science that we see in our own lives, but we tend to ignore कि इसके पीछे का साइंस क्या है या इसके पीछे की चीजें क्या that is happening. So next is the word prediction in NLP. Now most of you are working or chatting in WhatsApp. You might have seen that you get some blogs upper, like when you're talking how are, you generally get some words in your chat box about ki you, am, are. So the most probable word you choose would be you. But Do you know how that works? It's a NLP application based on building a language model. So the language model does that. Given a word and its history, it gets its probability. So based on the probability of a word, it decides ki in our corpus, like corpus is called the data we have. So in the text corpus data, they check ki how many times after how hour you are getting you, and the U probability is the highest, so you get it recommended most favorable thing, and the next probable thing you get, like you get it next, the word is this and next is this. Or I can give you an example is sometimes you misspell some words like renew or something. So what does WhatsApp does is it will give you like this autocorrect thing. So that is also an theorem called, or you can say the minimum edit distance thing, where from the source word to a target word you decide how things change. So the word most closest to renew would be renew ki correct spelling. So it will tell you ki from this word to this word, this is the most correct and the out word you should be using, not this word. So it is calculates the cost of editing, deleting, and substitution. So this is one mathematical thing that happens, and calculates the whole step in it, the cost, and gives you ki this is the most closest and the correct word to it. So in this way things work. Now, if you people use Snapchat or Instagram, so you might have seen that Snapchat, whenever you open and click a pic, they'll make a grid of your face. Like this grid appears on your face, and when you use the other filters on your face, it would be apt that like the dog's ears would be placed here and the nose is placed here. What is all this? It's just a computer vision technique that sees your face, and the grids are made to identify your facial features, and the computer is told ki the facial features are placed at this place, so they'll place the things accurately at your place. This is all because we have now techniques and data that we train on. Now you might have also seen that sometimes you don't get proper angle, or you might see that they'll say ki face not detected, because there's some proper angle or things defined. You need to tell the yeah, like the camera needs to know that at this point when I'm doing this way, this features will be detected, but if you keep camera some other way, they'll not detect it. So in this way the things happen now, like this VR games where you move your actions and in your computer they are playing the games. So this is also like a technique, like this action means that or this action means that, and you would not recognize, but there are techniques now where now people can making AI games of football. You can make your own team. They train the football matches, real life football matches on your data, and they teach you ki how things are happening. So the next one I would like to say is the data science cycle. So people, the data science thing is not easy as you think. It goes in a very proper way. Like, so first step you do this, you have a business idea, how things are being done. So first thing you do is you have an idea and you make a question for it. Like, is this good idea? Why should I use this idea? How this thing will happen if I use this idea? And other stuff. Once you're clear with your idea, you collect the data for your idea. So now suppose you're trying to do COVID-19 analysis. Okay, we'll take this example throughout our PPT because this is the most thing that we are all facing. So if you want to see ki how a particular company is affected by COVID-19, what you will do is you will take its company data for last 2 years and see how the sales is being done for the last 2 years. So you'll collect the company's data for like 2 years and the present from December, January, February, March, and April. So you collect your data according to what analysis want to do. Suppose you want to see ki how COVID-19 has been affected in different states of India. So you'll collect the data of affected people, death, how many death have been done, how many people have been recovered in each state, and that is data you need for it. So according to your business problem, you need the data. So it's all dependent on how, like what problem you are doing and why you collect the data according to that. Now the next step is cleaning your data. If you get cleaned data according to your business understanding, then you are one of the most lucky people, because it's very rare you get clean data, because we need to extract information from data and the things we want to do when we want from data. Because sometimes, like when I was working on my own thesis, I had this data of languages, but sometimes it happens that we don't need half of the data, so we clean the punctuation marks from it, we tokenize it to lowercase. Because I'll give you an example, like female and like FEMALE written in capitals and FEMALE written in small means the same, but a computer will take it in two different words. So we need to clean our data or tell it ki, or you do all the lowercase caps to it. Like you have Mr. Fisher is a good man, and Fisher goes by the sea to get fishes. So the Fisher and Mr. Fisher are two different things here. So we need to tell the computer key you treat them as two different things, because when we do a lower casing on our text, it will treat it as one same thing. So we need to tell our computer key treat them as two different entities and not same thing. So cleaning data and getting the right data for your business thing, or you can say for your problem statement, is very very important step. And this is the like 80% of the time is spent in cleaning your data. Next thing is you extract the info. Like okay, one more thing in cleaning data is sometimes you will have a data where the things are classified in two different ways. Like the half data is classified in yes and no, and half data is classified suppose in 1 and 0. So you need a proper structure ki classified it full data in yes or no or in 1 or 0. So because of these all things, it's very important we clean our data. Next is we extract the information from the data. Now you have collected your data. Now you have cleaned your data. So the third step you analyze how the data is trending, or how your data is performing, what type of text is there, what type of images you have, do you want to remove noises from the images, or do you want to clean things and stuff. So this type of thing is done in when you extract information from it. Like you extract the good like words from it to understand what type of words are there in it. After you have done the extraction part, you visualize the data. Now that you have the total information of your data, you visualize it using different techniques like Matplotlib, NumPy, and word clouds. These are different Tableau and stuff. This is because it helps you to study how your data is being performing on your data that you have collected. Is it actually doing the thing you really wanted to do for your data, or is it doing something else? So this is very important step. And before visualization also, you one thing that comes important is the feature engineering of your data. So you featureize your data into, like, you give the importance of the features you want to your model to get trained on. So you extract the information and give scores to important features. Like suppose you're building uh, automated essay scoring, and you want to tell your data ki you want it to be judged on, suppose how many words are there, how how many words are there in the essay, how many spelling mistakes are there, how good, how relevant your essay is to the topic, and you can give the next pointers ki how what type of vocabulary is. But I think when in schools also, first point we got judged on was ki kitna length ka we had this data. So they used to count the number of words. If it exceeded the number of words, we got -1. So like we, the importance of features are plays a very important role in our data science model building. So you give importance to features using statistical techniques you have, and then you tell your model ki give importance to these features and not to these features. Like some ABCD features, you don't give importance to dart features, but give importance to other features in your data, so that when you build your model, the other, you don't get some weird results. Instead you will get the results that you wanted because you build it in this way. And then you visualize your data ki how it is being done and stuff, and then you deploy your model. So after you deploy your model to real life applications, you again get to see ki how things are happening, and then you make again the changes in your model. So as it is a cycle, it will come again to the business understanding part. Now you have deployed it, you will see how what you thought at the start and how it is being related now to your the model that has come to an end. And then you see ki how the things are now according to the business problem you thought earlier. So in this way the things happen, and again you see after deployment you get feedback from the customer or your clients, and then again you improve using collect data and then clean. So in this way, the whole data science cycle works. The next I would tell are the different eras in data science. Before going into the different eras of data science, I would like to tell you some important tools that are very important when learning data science are like modeling tools that you should know are R, MATLAB, or Python. The databases queries you should know like SQL, and you should know like data wrangling techniques. Mathematics play a very important role. So you should know like statistics, linear algebra, calculus, optimization techniques, and discrete maths. Machine learning tools that are very important are like clustering, classification, principal component analysis, Naive theorem, and some frameworks that you build a model on like TensorFlow, Keras, and PyTorch. So these are some of the things that you should know while going into data science. So data science started off as a business intelligence thing, or you can say a business intelligence subject earlier. So it was all limited to the company. That company used to build business related models for the organization, and they used to have a analysis key how things are working and stuff. But the problem of this era was that it was only limited to the company. The common people were not having access to the data. The next thing that came was like the big data era. Now everyone wanted to talk about data and have a good grabs at data. So they built. Now the data was very big and unstructured. So cleaning was done, and it was built for various other purposes, and it was used by many. And some machine learning algorithms also came into the role. The next era that came was the automated analysis, and now that we are facing, now that we are using, you have different techniques and good computational powers, and you're building self-driving cars, you're building prediction chatbots for the companies, you're using different things automatically. So this is the era that we are currently in. And I really don't know what will be the next era be about and how things will happen in the next time. So, as everything has some myths, even data science has some myths, or you can say some there are some myths in everything, some beliefs of people. So the first thing people tend to ignore is the importance of mathematics. Now, as you have seen, I told you that mathematical tools are very important, like statistics, linear algebra, optimization techniques, discrete maths. So I would like to ask from you people ki, uh, what is conditional probability, or how does conditional probability play? Like, what do you think? What is conditional probability? Any answer from the audience? See, like the small concepts like conditional probability are the concepts that we learned in 12th, but play a very important role when we are building a language model. And when you're building your model, there's called technique of, like, you can say, calculating back propagation and your losses. So maths plays a very important role even there, because you're doing a derivative of functions. So nowadays people think it's all about building models, and they generally tend to ignore how important maths plays role. Like even building a simple, you can say a simple linear regression model, y is equal to mx plus c, and suppose there's this regression line over here, you're classifying like these are the 5 men and these are the 3 women. So you generally classify in this way ki this are the 5 men and 3 men. What if your slope of graph goes somewhere here, and now in this graph you have 2 men, 3 women, and up you have 3 men? So regression and all stuff plays a very important role, and it's all maths, from the simplest concepts you are doing to the most complex thing you are building in data science involves maths. And people think कि मैथ्स तो क्या है, बट मैथ्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. लाइक आई टेल यू माई ओन एग्जाम्पल. I was interning for my research work. So every Saturday we had this literature survey or review sessions. So initially I was given to read some research papers for my project work. So I was told by the my PhD guide, in today's research review session, you will be telling me ki, you'll not tell me ki what data they have used, what technique you have used. These are some of the equations that they have come up to, and this above is some diagram of the model. Explain me with this equation how it fits in this model's diagram. So this is how important max plays. Like if you know max, you can make your own model, you can tweak, you can play with your data, you can play with your model and stuff. So I would say never ignore the mathematical sides of data science. As useful or as important computer science is to data science, then mathematics is also important to data science. As I told you earlier in my webinar ki it all started off with statistics, and now it's all about this. Because now suppose you are making a model, some client may have this thing ki you want your accuracy to be good, and how much time it runs you don't doesn't matter. Or some client may say accuracy is okay, but you optimize it. So you need to know techniques to make your model, and this is all data science is about. You use linear algebra, you create matrix, you have hidden layers, you have dimensions, so you need to know about matrix. You do principal component analysis that that reduces the dimension of your model. So in this way, how the things work, the like the some of the myths that are key. People think that data science can be once data scientist job will be over when AI is come into market. But I think it is like some sort of a myth, because it is not that way. Like if you have just give me a second, my net is not working, I guess.
Hey Manpreet, for the time being, we can, I guess, ask the questions which I received on the form. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Okay. So we'll continue the slides after these questions. So there were a few questions which people asked. So first one, Vaibhav Maheshwari just asked, so are you using any tools to deploy machine learning models, or can you talk about CI/CD pipeline for machine learning models? I guess Vaibhav, that's a separate topic of discussion since this.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are many patch tools for uh, to deploy machine learning models and all. But yeah, I guess Manpreet, you can have a little bit of discussion about it at the end of the webinar. But yes, can you
Yeah,
talk about pipeline for machine learning models? I guess this would be a good bigger topic of discussion. So maybe we can have this in our next webinar, or maybe you
yeah.
can ask it from me after the webinar on LinkedIn or something. But yeah, I guess otherwise it would go off topic. So anyways, yeah, so let's come back to the other questions. So these are the questions which people asked on the form. So Manpreet, what is the scope of data science? Do you think pursuing a career in data science is safe?
Well, data science is very vast, and you have a lot of scope in data science, as there like it's not, the job of data science is not just limited to your building models, that I'll be talking ahead in my talk also. It's also about like I can say is you have different jobs of data engineer who does different tasks. You have different like you do data analysis. Some people are being NLP engineers, some are being computer vision engineers. But it all comes down to the line key, is it the hype that you're running after the data science, or is it something that really interests you from inside to work in data science? So if it really interests you to work as a data science thing, then you will eventually figure out your interest in the different categories of data science. Like you want to go
Yes,
into the analysis part, or you want to be a
yes,
financial analyst. You like, even the government has this AI Bharat thing, that is a
yes.
government initiative. So it's all depends up to what you really want to do.
Yes, definitely. Okay, coming on to the next question, which Jay asked. So he said that as a beginner, how and where can I choose projects? So yes, you can actually get a lot of ideas from the competitions that are happening in Kaggle. You might have heard about it, but yes, Manpreet, you can also put in your views regarding this.
So I would say, yeah, you like work on projects, but first work on clearing your concepts and learning basic things. Suppose now you have learned a topic called linear regression, and then you take out a project on it and build some model on it, and then you start off doing. So take a similar problem statement and perform different algorithms on it, and then you will realize ki how different algorithms are performing on a problem statement. And then you will be able to see ki how things are happening when you are using different data, and like the similar data, and when you use the different data and apply all algorithms to in it, it will give you a good study ki how I, when I choose my data, a particular thing happens, how you are choosing, how a particular thing happens. So like,
Yes.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
what I want to say.
Yeah, and adding on to it, so problem statements, as Manpreet was talking about, problem statements, you can find out many problem statements on. There are constantly competitions happening on Kaggle. You can check out that. And apart from that, I would recommend this one more thing, that whatever code you write for solving them, just upload it. Just make a repository on GitHub and upload it there. So side by side, you will be able to build your profile as well. And because once you do, people will be able to see your code. How did you solve your problem, that particular problem statement, and that will be helpful while you apply for jobs as well. Okay, all right. So coming on to the next question.
Or you
Um,
can also do is ki when you're building it, a model, or if you're doing suppose data analysis, so there are a lot of case studies available online. So what you can do
yes,
is read your case study, what algorithms they have used. You try out
yes,
something else and write it out as a blog or as your own case studies and
exactly.
present
Yes.
it. This was the thing in that, and I tried to do this type of thing in that, so it will also
Yeah.
give you an insight key how things are happening.
Yeah. All right. So coming on to the next question. What's the difference between AI, ML, and deep learning?
So AI is the vast field, like you can say the universe, and machine learning comes in under that, and the deep learning is the most new technique or the inner set of it. So you have a big circle that is AI, in that you have machine learning, and then you have this deep learning. So machine learning algorithms are like they don't use models like in like you will learn like deep learning is about making input layer, and you have different models like LSTM and BERTs. Machine learning have different techniques like clustering and classification techniques, regression techniques. So these are the different techniques that are in machine learning. And in deep learning, you have neural networks. You have a
Yes.
input layer, you have a hidden layer, and you have an output layer. So it's you have some type, like you define some dimensions for your input layer. You define what how many neurons do you need. So this is how deep neural network works, or you can say CNN, convolutional neural networks work.
All right. So Manpreet, let's continue with your slides.
Yeah,
Is the issue fixed?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Share your screen once again.
yeah. So first myth is people believe that data scientists will be replaced by AI, but I think it's like someone believes कि it will replace you, but as I told you in my life cycle that after deployment also you need to improve things, you need to work on things. So like we have not reached that stage ki now AI will replace human minds, because we are at some things more judgeable, and we are at some point ki we judge things more easily than we can train our AI on it. So it's still not the phase that we have come on ki AI will replace data science. Then the next myth people have is more data means higher accuracy. So people believe that if you get more data, you get higher accuracy. But that is again wrong. मतलब अगर तुम इतना डेटा ले लोगे और उसमें से तुम्हारे काम का सिर्फ 10% का हुआ, तो तुम्हें कहाँ से एक्यूरेसी मिलेगी उस प्रॉपर प्रॉब्लम के लिए. लाइक you want to build something in like computer vision और तुम्हारे पास आधे से ज्यादा डेटा में blurred images हैं, so what you will teach to your model, how will teach the features to your model ki this is eyes, this is nose, this is forehead and stuff. So it does not mean ki you have more data you'll get higher accuracy. You must have the good data for the model or the problem you want to do. Then next is, okay, people believe ki you have to be from the CS background if you want to go into data science. This is also like I am also from MSc Maths, and I can say it's totally dependent on your dedication and determination to learn new things. Like I know people from EC background also going into this, so like being from CS, you might have some advantage, you know how coding works in the real time environment, how things work. But if you're determined from inside to learn something new, then a branch won't matter to you if you're going into something. So it's even if you're from CS background, you have to learn mathematics. You have to learn some visualization techniques. You have to learn. So, anyways, if you're going into data science or any new field, suppose you say like even web development, front end or back end, you will have to be dedicated and you have to be determined. Ki if you want to do this, you have to do this. So you just can't say ki you have to be the CS people can only get into data science. Next thing is people believe this, you build a cool project and that makes you a data scientist. That is yet again a very wrong myth. Like the current students going into data science or the people into data science have is like they'll say ki I did this course and I built this project. But yet again, I think it's very uh, like if you're doing a course and you see ki they have taken this data and built this something, you try to do something new out of it, and you have now Google data set also. Take a data set, try to implement something, and like data science as a field also involves a lot of your exploring things. So once you learn something, till then you don't implement, you don't learn, you don't explore it, you won't be able to see ki how things will happen in real world, because sometimes you won't get clean data. You will have to spend 80 or 90% of your time cleaning your data for your project. The next thing people believe is yes, you can do data science without learning to code. Yet again, like people think if you know visualization, we'll make this dashboards and now we can be good to go for a data science job. Yet again, this is wrong key, because with, as I said, it's a team of stats plus computer science, or you can say maths plus computer science. So you need to know both of your things to go in hand in hand. So you can't be like one thing above and one thing there. So all things go hand in hand, and you need not know just maths and not coding, and you need not know just coding and just maths. So you need both things to work together. Next, people think is data collection is easy. Let's just focus on modeling. Let me tell you one thing. Like, अगर तुम्हारे पास डेटा नहीं है तो तुम उसका मॉडल बना के क्या कर लोगे, किस पे इम्प्लीमेंट करोगे, लाइक ऑन व्हाट विल यू इम्प्लीमेंट इट ऑन? When you don't have data to check your model on when you don't have things कि तुम अपने मॉडल्स को चेक कर सको कि वो कैसा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, so what is the sense of building even a machine learning model? So data collection is also a very important step, and you have different techniques like you can scrape data from sites using Beautiful Soup, Scrapy, and have data sets available online on Google data sets. So it's not just you should focus on modeling, but you should also focus on collecting your data, the correct data. That is also important. You should collect the correct data for the problem statement you're trying to solve. Next, people believe that data science is all about building predictive models. That is yet again very like a myth. Ki, yeah, like earlier it used to be ki people used to build predictive things, but now the era has like the field has grown so vast. As I told you, you have Snapchat. They'll scan your face, give you good filters on your face. You have self-driving cars teaching your model how do you do it. Even some days back in the news, you would be seeing ki in doctors, like a robot is built and it is taught ki this is the bed. You have to go to the patient, give him this food and come back. This is the next patient. You have to go and give him the food and come back. So this is a type of thing they are doing, like they're teaching the robots how do you tie a knot, how do you do how do you tie a shoelace. So data science as a field has grown so vast than just building predictive modeling. Like predictive modeling is a part of it, yet it has many things other than this thing. So when you are going into data science, you should be someone who has reading practice. You should be reading the blog posts. You should have this habit of reading good books in data science, or you should be reading good research papers, the current research. If you're not even acquainted to reading, how will you know that what is the current research thing happening in data science, how in that paper they use something and you can use something else, or you how you can tweak things until you don't read things. The next is you should have patience. You can't become a data science in just one day, 1 month, or something. It's a field, or you can say you have to ever grow yourself. You have to learn every day, you have to read every day, you have to explore everything. And that's like I said, you should experiment with things. Like suppose a person has built a linear regression model, you can try out something else on that. If someone has used like CNN with some dimensions, you try to tweak and make something else. And I would say whatever you do, write a blog or write something on it ki, or case study ki you was this problem statement, you did this. So it will also give you an insight. It will help you to interact with the same kind of people working in it, and they'll help you know more ki how things are happening in this. You did this. If you might have tried something XYZ, it might have give you something good results. So it will also help you to give a good learning of your concepts, and give you, like, it will also build your profile. So data science, you should have the habit of reading, and you should be patient, and you should be exploring new things every day. Now comes the career opportunities in data science. So you can work with text. You will be known as NLP engineer. You can work in images and computer vision techniques. You'll be computer vision engineer. You'll be working with machine learning techniques. You can work as a financial analyst in companies or banks. You can even work as a data analyst for a company, seeing their trends and stuff. You can work as a data engineer who takes the data, who uh, justifies the problem statement and takes questions and collects data and study ki the according to the problem statement, do I have the correct data or not, like what does company want from this, how will it get benefited. So it's not just limited to one thing, but it's whole lot of a good field that when you explore, you will certainly know ki what thing you want to work on. Now, this is one thing I really want to ask you people, ki you want to go into data science because it's the new trend. Is it the hottest job? You get good paid. Everyone is going in it, so I'll also go. Or is it the passion? You love maths, you love coding, and you are really interested to know the science behind it. Because now data science is into healthcare. Government is building projects related to data science. You have fintech companies like Paytm, Google Pay working in data science. So it's like in everywhere, small things, yet we don't know. So if you are passionate, you are dedicated, you have determination to learn something new, you really love the maths behind it, you love experimenting, then go into data science. Because the last quote says that if you're not someone with curiosity and see what is next, you might have taken a wrong road. So if you're not curious and you're just behind the money part and the trend part, that now the every job has the lead data scientist, lead machine learning engineer, data scientist intern. So if you're like going behind the titles behind it, then better you learn something and don't waste your time into data science. And next is if you have any question and answers for me.
Hey Manpreet, so let me just change the view. Right. Yes. So there were a few questions which I already covered in between the webinar. So I guess we just have one last question, but we have two questions remaining. But I guess I can club it into a single question. So question is, what roadmap would you suggest a fresher to become a zero to a hero in data science?
So I would suggest that do a first a machine learning course, and then learn statistical techniques, do some projects, work with some or intern with some company. You will realize the project you did for that is different and how things work in real life. So you will get to know ki how do you deploy things in real time, how do you work with real time data, how do you connect with different peoples and you deploy your model on it. So I would say ki first start learning the basics, then learn the mathematical concepts like statistics, linear algebra, calculus. If you are now good with your machine learning concepts and you have enough confidence, then go into deep learning concepts. And now you have like options of going into NLP or computer visions techniques. And if you like to play with text data, you can explore the field of NLP. If you like to work with images, you can go into computer vision. But now the both fields are also integrated. Like people are working on building a technique like image captioning. So given an image, your computer will automatically generate a caption for you. So it's the mixture of both your techniques. So started off with the basics, learn the mathematical concepts, give a lot of time to it, because in companies you won't be they will ask you about your models or algorithms. They would ask you like small concepts like why principal eigenvectors and eigenvalues important, how back propagation is derivated, like it's calculated as it's derivated backwards to calculate the loss. So they'll ask you what parameters they are getting differentiated with respect to what is its importance. So learn, have a good grasp as your math things, and you will eventually see you will, if you enjoy it, then you would further yourself find a way to where you want to go. But this is what I would suggest as. Next, anyone? So,
Oh, hey, my mic was muted. I'm so sorry. All right, so by mistake, I closed my web browser and I opened it again, and my mic was muted. So, yeah. All right, so that was it from my side, and those were all the questions. Do you have anything else you want to tell our audience today?
yeah, like you can connect with us every anywhere. Like I'll, these are all our handles where you can connect with us. And I would say ki be experimental with your learnings and don't just run after the trend that is going कि data science है, data science में पैसे हैं, data science ऐसा है. But understand कि what is your interest. If you really like to build web apps and you are into Android, then go for it. If you're good in your field, you'll definitely like it and you will definitely be at a good place. But if you run after the trending trends, कि if this thing is trending, then you'll you will eventually be कि you'll not be anywhere and you will be lost in that thing and you will feel frustrated with things because ऐसा भी होता है कि when you're training your model, it will take 3 days to train your model, and after 3 days you'll find a error, and you will realize that you will have to again train it. So you will need a lot of patience, you will need a lot of experimentation, learning, and so I would just say that with at the end.
That was really amazing, Manpreet. That was really, really amazing. And for all the people who are attending this webinar right now, I have posted the LinkedIn handle of me and Manpreet in the chat section. So do connect with us. We would really love to listen to your views and how did you like this webinar. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us anytime. And definitely, Manpreet, that was really very sweet of you to take out your time from your busy schedule and take this webinar for beginners. And yes, that's pretty much it for today. And for the people who are attending this webinar, please do connect with us. And I would really appreciate it if you can do write a little bit post about what all things you can learn, what all things did you learn today, and just tag us both, tag me, Madhav Behel, and Manpreet on the post, and we would definitely love to see what all things did you learn today. And that was it. So now we are going offline. Thanks a lot, Manpreet, for your time, and it was really amazing. You are really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to your platform for this.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.